Talk speakers, Dr. Goli Afshar and Julie Griffin. Their presentation will address an objective, of the project to increase student retention and recruitment by fostering mutually beneficial relationships between students and alumni. Welcome.
Thank you, Dion, and thank you everyone for being here and being interested to learn about our project. So let me just share my screen. All right, hopefully everyone can see this. So our ATE project is a collaboration between 3 colleges in 3 different parts of the country with different student demographics. That is City College of San Francisco in California, where I am from, Austin Community College in Texas, and Johnston Community College in North Carolina, where Julie is from. So many of you might have already heard about our project through presentations by Karen Leon, who is our co-PI of the project, and also Julie. But for those of you who might have not heard of our project, I'm just going to give you a very quick overview. So as a faculty in a community college technical program, we're all very aware of the fact that a lot of times our students don't interact with industry. There's not enough interactions. And so the idea of this project was to increase this connection between the students and industry by engaging with the alumni of our programs who are in industry. They have careers in industry, and they could be our industry connections. So we invited back our alumni to our programs to interact with the students through different kinds of activities and assignments and share their stories to increase recruitment, retention, and placement in jobs. And so the idea is that our students go through the program, they interact with the alumni, they learn about different career pathways, and then after they graduate, hopefully they find jobs in the field, and now they are part of our industry network, and they can be invited back to the program to interact with the students. So it's kind of like a feedback loop that helps us to increase our industry network. So why do we think it is important to build an alumni network? I think we can all agree here that interactions between students and alumni who have careers in the field could be beneficial for the students. It helps them to connect with industry, build their professional network. It helps them to learn about career pathways after graduation, especially from someone who went through the same program, and it helps with their self-confidence, science identity, and self-efficacy. But we also think it's important for the programs. It helps the programs to increase their industry partnerships by showcasing the success of their alumni. The programs earn credibility and visibility, and it helps with their student recruitment, retention, and success. And of course, it could be beneficial for the alumni as well. By interacting with the students, they are also expanding their network. These students will go on, graduate, and become part of the industry. So there'll be good connections to have. It's an opportunity for them to practice their leadership and communication skills. It's a rewarding experience to give back to your community and help someone who's just starting. And overall, it helps with their professional and personal growth. So, the 3 colleges, collected, we have developed and tested a series of activity and assignments that we use in our programs to engage with the alumni. And we have put together all of these experiences, these examples of activities that we do in our colleges in a form of guidelines that the guidelines is basically on how to build your alumni network, how to maintain it, and how to expand it and how to maintain it. In the guidelines, you can find a series of examples of activities that we have developed and tested, templates, recommendations. We have recommendation of of how to schedule those types of activities in a 1 year or a 2 year program. And this guideline is right now available on our website, and you can, using this QR code, going to our project website, you can download it. It is in a draft form. We're still working on it. We're going to be making some changes, but it is available for the ATE community to go to it if you are interested in building your network. So in the guidelines, we recommend that you start early and start building your network on the very first semester when the students start enrolling in your classes by engaging them with the alumni through activities and assignments. And we also encourage the students to start building their LinkedIn profile and update it throughout the program. So LinkedIn, as we all know, is a great tool for networking for the students, but it's also a great tool for the programs to keep track of the progress of their graduates. So after the students go through the program, they graduate, hopefully they get jobs in industry, and now they are your alumni network. They are part of your industry network, and they can get invited back to the programs, engage with the students, share their stories, and we recommend that to maintain this relationship with the alumni, to provide support for the alumni, like providing professional development opportunities for them, like networking, resume review, and so on, and maybe invite them to engage in your advisory boards. So I'm going to give you a few examples of what you can find in the guidelines. I'm going to be focusing on sharing of the alumni stories. We have series of activities and assignments that help the students to engage with the alumni in a very simple way. So we have listed a few ways of sharing alumni stories. One is the Biotech Beat podcast. You might have heard of Biotech Beat. It is a podcast that our team has developed with collaboration with Peter Kazarinoff from Portland Community College. We were very lucky to collaborate with Peter. Peter has experience putting together podcasts. He did the Talking Technician podcast. And he has so far interviewed 19 of our alumni from the 3 colleges, and all of those podcasts are available for anyone who is interested to listen to them. So those podcasts are available, and we use them as assignments for our students to interact with our alumni. I'll talk about that in a minute. Another method that we've been using is taking advantage of the Scientist Spotlights. So the Scientist Spotlights initiative was started by Jeff Shinsky in California, Foothill Community College, and it features more than 1,000 scientists in different kinds of fields. And each scientist is featured in a form of a lesson that you can see an example here. The lesson is very simple. It's only 1 page. It has a little bio about the person who is featured, some links to resources about his or her field and their background, and also some reflection questions for the students. These lessons are very easy to embed in any classroom. It could be a biotechnology classroom, biology classroom, or any other classroom. So it's another way to introduce the students to the scientists. We have taken advantage of this already existing resource, and we have created, I believe, 12 lessons, 12 submitted stories about 12 of our alumni. These are our graduates who are now in industry, and they have successful careers. So what you're looking at right now is the story of Miko Malari, who was a graduate from the biotechnology program at City College of San Francisco. So and all of this is available to anybody who's interested. They're all for free. We have suggestions on types of assignments that you can use to have your students listen to these podcasts or look up these community college graduates and learn from their stories. And also we provide some guidance on how to build your own stories and featuring your own alumni. Here's an example of an assignment that you can find in a guideline. What we ask our students is listen to 1 or 2 of these podcasts And then we asked them some reflection questions and started discussion in class. It's a very simple assignment, but it's a way for the students to learn about the career paths of the alumni in the program. What I love about these podcasts is that they are, first of all, you hear the stories through, told by the alumni themselves. So that's very powerful. And also, it's a very casual conversation between Peter and the alumni, alum person. And the alumni, a lot of times they talk about their hardships. So it's not all about success. They talk about their hardships, they talk about their obstacles that they faced throughout their journey and how they overcame it. So they're very powerful stories that I think all community college students may relate to. So far, 76 students have completed this assignments. We just started it a couple of semesters ago. And we asked them to fill out a survey so we can gather some data. And you can see that more than 90% of them have expressed that listening to these podcasts has helped them to increase their confidence, their science identity, learn about skills and jobs available in biosciences, and increase their desire to take more biotech courses and pursue careers in biotechnology. Here's another example of what you can find in the guidelines of how to share the stories of your alumni. It's a very easy way to just create stories and post them on your websites. It's an easy way to showcase the success of the alumni in your programs and demonstrate the program outcomes and the impact of your program. It's also a way to attract prospective students who may be exploring your website, and they can learn about different career paths available after graduation. It also helps with the visibility and sense of accomplishment for the alumni. So it helps the alumni who are being featured as well. Here you see an example of a questionnaire that we have been using to collect these stories. So the alumni, we send this to the alumni who are interested, and they answer these very specific questions. And basically, just answers to these questions put together creates a story. So here's a story that was created by Karen Leong at City College of San Francisco. It's on City College's website. I chose Jose Valenzuela's story in particular because he's also a member of our advisory board. And we met last week, and he actually mentioned that somebody saw his story on the website and they contacted him, and they have been asking, and seeking advice from him. So it just shows you an example of how these stories can be helpful and beneficial. So Jose answered all of those questions, and Karen put all those answers together to create his stories. He talks about what he did before the biotech program, why he chose the biotech program, what was his biggest concern when he joined the program. He also answered the question like, what did you like most about the program, and what he's doing after the program. And there's other information in there as well. And there's links to his internship project, presentation, his current career, because this was created a few years ago. So he has changed careers since then, and other information as well. All right, and I think I'm going to pass it to Julie, who's going to tell you a little bit more about the other activities included in the guideline.
Hello, everybody. I'm Julie Griffin. I'm a career coach at Johnston Community College on this wonderful project team. Obviously, let me back up. While most of our speed networking events include industry professionals who are alumni and who aren't alumni, we have held some events that were solely industry volunteers who are community college alumni. And we asked the question to our students after they participate in the events on, is it important? How important is it for you to interact with alumni? And 77% of the students have indicated that it's important to interact with alumni, important to them. They see themselves in the alumni, they learn from their career trajectory, it minimizes stress and worry and fears about the field. So that definitely tells us that students value engagement with alumni. Similarly, in this mutually beneficial relationship of alumni engagement, our alumni as well value engagement with our students. We've sent out the three colleges have sent out 2 surveys to our alumni annually, one in 2026 and one in 2025. And 87% of respondents of our alumni said they are interested in engaging with students, particularly in events like speed networking and informational interviews, reviewing resumes. Also, though, we can't forget that our alumni aren't just there to give back, give back, give back. We need to consider how we can still foster growth in our alumni. And our alumni indicated through these surveys that they are indeed still interested in professional growth opportunities from their local community college. And there's a few listed on the screen. I know I want us to make the time, so I won't read them all, but just consider as you're creating your alumni network, how you can give back to the students as well or to the alumni through asking them for their feedback on surveys. Next slide, Goalie. And just a reminder, I know Goalie went through several of these steps. Really, we encourage you to build the alumni network by starting with students in the very beginning of their program, having them create their LinkedIn profiles, collecting their basic contact information, and creating the listserv so that when they do graduate or complete their certificate programs, you have all of that information and can maintain engagement with those students as they move into their careers, offering alumni ways to engage, including speed networking, coming into classes as guest speakers, informational interviews, and as Goalie mentioned, creating those alumni stories. And then, of course, maintaining a healthy network by surveying the students, updating, the alumni listservs, keeping them current, creating an advisory board with your alumni, and then also offering the alumni those professional development opportunities. And all of these resources are listed in the guidelines that Goalie mentioned. Next slide. These are a few real easy ways for industry to engage with your students. Speed network, I mean, it's a very low investment for your alumni, our industry partners, to invite them to a speed networking event. We ask them to register for the event and share 2-sentence bio, and then other than that, just show up for the event. We do give them some guidance or some guidelines so they know how the event's going to be structured, but we don't ask them to prepare anything. We just want 2 hours of their time, and the benefits are huge. The benefits for the students, as Goalie mentioned earlier, self-efficacy is big, and 94% of the students who we've surveyed from all of our collective events over the past almost 4 years have said that these events have resulted in greater confidence in their ability to succeed in a biotech career and talking with industry professionals. There is a QR code on the screen because we've also written a separate guidelines on how to host these speed networking events, and so that QR code will take you right there. Next slide. And here are some other ways to really maintain that alumni engagement. In the Bay Area, alumni from City College of San Francisco actually host industry hikes, which is so cool. I really want to do this in North Carolina, as well as, consider inviting alumni back to creating an alumni advisory board, ensuring that your alumni are connected to your program LinkedIn group. And then again, as we mentioned earlier, considering what types of professional development your alumni are interested in as well. And this brings us to the final slide, which is to connect with us. We are happy to share any and all resources that we have. Feel free to email us directly or follow the bit.ly link to our information form. We are so glad to be here today to share these resources. We hope that you'll sample a few and let us know what you think of them. And I guess anybody from our project team, Goalie, Cassandra, Karen, want to say any final thoughts?
I just want to mention that, as I said, the guidelines is there on our website, and you can definitely download it and start, looking at it. But it is a work in progress, and we would love to hear from you guys if you have any ideas, if you have activities that you've been doing to engage with your alumni. We would love to hear about it.
Thank you so much, Goli and Julie. And if you haven't noticed in the chat, there are a lot of links that various people have shared. So please take a look at those links. And again, thank you. Our second Project Talk speakers are led by the project's PI, Dr. Donna Barron, Michelle Lewis, and Julie Friot. This presentation describes a multi-pronged strategy to increase awareness among middle and high school students, career advisors, and adults exploring career transitions. Welcome. Donna,
You're
you're
on
on
mute.
mute.
Sorry about that. Thank you, Dion, for that introduction. I'm here with Michelle Lewis and Julie Friot, who are co-PIs on this project. And I learned from Julie and Goli from your project. Maybe we will implement some of those things. So that was a great talk. I really appreciate that. We are at the very beginning of our ATE, which is to raise awareness and create pathways in the local biotechnology workforce. And as you all know, this is an uphill battle. Let me forward this. So why did we want to do this? Like a lot of you, if you're not in a huge area of biomanufacturing or biotechnology, it is a struggle to raise awareness about biotechnology in your area. We are in New York's capital region, which is about 2 hours north of New York City. And we have a good emerging hub here with a lot of potential. We have over 100 life sciences establishments, from startups to large companies like Regeneron, who are our great partners. We also have a great academic network from our community college and others to large research institutions like RPI and the State University of New York, and also Albany College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences, which has its own Center for Biopharmaceutical Education and Training. But like a lot of you, we have a challenge of limited awareness of biotechnology career pathways, which then results in a pipeline gap. So our approach is to really do that multi-pronged approach where we are attacking this from many different directions. Students in grades 7 through 12th grade, we are going to target those. Career advisors, which is a broad term, and also adults seeking career changes. So our overall strategy is to use events and strategic information sharing to intentionally foster a sustained interest and support the concrete next steps towards education or direct employment. We're going to use our industry partners and current students and maybe now alumni to help us with these events with near peer models. We've named our program Capital Region Biotech Connect just for recognition purposes. So I'm going to turn it over to Julie to talk about what we're doing for our 7th through 12th grade students.
Thank you, Donna. I'm Julie Friot, and I've had the pleasure of working with Donna and Michelle on increasing biotech awareness. My role in this is focused on the 7th through 12th graders. I think that it's really important that we raise awareness as early as possible. We want to make sure that as students are thinking about their careers and their education, that they have a better understanding of what biotech is. They hear about biology in general, they hear about engineering and some of these fields going into medicine, but biotech is really foreign. They don't really know what it means, and parents are probably wondering, well, what is my kid going to do with this degree, right? So we're all want to make this more attainable for them. So our approach in going into the 7th through 12th grade population is to first get into the schools and do what we're calling family enrichment nights. The main school that we are servicing in this area is Troy Central School District. So I've been in contact with the principals for both the middle school and the high school, and they are very excited and supportive of the family enrichment nights that we have planned. So we're calling them family enrichment because it's important not to just get the information to the guidance counselors and the teachers and the students, but we want them to have conversations with their family and adults that they're talking to at home. So it's one thing when the kids go into school and they talk to their teachers, but they don't always bring that information home. And also the parents are going to have really important questions like what are we going to do with this degree? How do I get my kids more involved in this? And importantly, what kind of jobs would this give them when they engage in biotechnology? So with the family enrichment nights, we'll be inviting the students with their family members. We would ask guidance counselors, teachers, any kind of support to be there as well. So they'll be all invited. We want to first just generally share information about what is biotechnology, give them some educational pathways to think about so they can enter these programs and they can get a 2-year degree, they can go on and transfer, they can enter the workforce, and we even have some micro credentials that will help them along the way if they're not sure. At that same time, we plan to do some hands-on activities with the students and their families so they can participate together. We want to show them that the technology, things like pipetting, using a vortex, a centrifuge, are things that anybody can do. We don't want them to feel intimidated by just hearing about these terms. So we're going to give them some hands-on activities to practice. And then we're going to leave them with some information, some contact information so that they can follow up with us. They've seen us in person. I also would like to bring some students, some Hudson Valley students with us so that they can see that there are peers that are at their level and this is something attainable. So we're going to leave them with contact information, and also leading into the second part of this, we are planning to do some summer camps. So I want to do the family enrichment first, and this is planned probably for next month. We just have to get the dates down, but the principals and teachers are in support of this. So by advertising for our summer camps at the family enrichment, we're hoping that will kind of encourage them to look into these camps that will be free for the students to attend. So that's a great way to help us advertise. The summer camps also, the Troy High School has said that this is definitely something that they would be interested in doing this coming summer in 2026. Originally, we suggested that we go to the school. We wanted to make this very accessible. We didn't want things like transportation to become a problem for them. But actually, the principals said that they do have money to support transportation of the students, and they thought it would be a great idea for the students to come to us and see our labs. So that worked out really well. We hadn't really considered transportation too much when we first thought about this. So I think it's a great way that they can provide the transportation for the schools through their support, and then everything's here on our campus. We would also, at the same time, invite some of our Hudson Valley students to participate so that they see people their own age, peers that they can identify with. And we would also invite some of our industry partners to come in to talk to them about job opportunities and what they can do with the career as well. So with the summer camp that we are in the works of planning still, we're looking at 5 half days of activities right here at Hudson Valley. In the meantime, we've been in contact with another school, the Albany High School. They already have a STEM camp in place. It's called the STEManistas. And what we're going to do is offer to go in and do some supplemental labs with them. So theirs is much larger than just biotech, but we can go in and just jump in and offer specific biotech activities in this program that they already have established. So it's really nice for us. We don't have to worry about the advertising, the recruiting, a lot of those, again, transportation. So this is an easy way to just get some more biotech awareness into those schools. And lastly, the newest thing that's come along here at Hudson Valley is we have a STEM bus. So this is going to start running again this spring, and we've been in contact with some of the other people in the engineering department who are going to be running some activities. So we're hoping to hop on top of that too. So a lot of this is not really we're not inventing the wheel here. We're just we're capitalizing on some activities that are already in place and hoping to, by supplementing and offering things that we've already been doing, we can just recruit more students and bring awareness to them. So as I mentioned, the timeline is to have our first family enrichment night this spring at the Troy Middle School and inviting the high school students and their family members over. We have summer camps. We actually just got approval to start advertising through our Kids on Campus. So that's really nice too, making this more accessible, and it's going to go out to a lot more students by advertising to more people than just the Troy and the Albany high school students. And yeah, we're looking to piggyback on any other existing camps that are passed along our way. So we have a lot of work to do, but it's coming up, and we're really excited to get started.
Thanks, Julie. I really appreciate that. And yeah, we have a lot of things planned there, but again, we just got started, so we're looking at what we're planning rather than what we've executed so far. One thing we have executed is our first career counselor event. Now, we're using that term career counselor pretty broadly. It can mean club advisors and other student-facing staff, unemployment officers, high school guidance counselors, and really anybody that's going to have a conversation with someone who is either thinking about a career or thinking about a career change. So our approach for this will be to use lunch and learn events, which is convenient to whoever we're trying to reach. So we held one for our club advisors and our student-facing staff on campus earlier last week because it was convenient for them. High school counselors will probably end up going to that high school to provide a lunch and learn for them. But at these lunch and learn events, we're going to give them an overview of our regional ecosystem. What kind of jobs and companies are there for students in biotechnology? A high level program information with information that they can pass along or find where can they find more information out. And then I feel very particular about this, a hands-on activity designed to reduce what I'd like to call science trauma. And I got this from Andrea Damon from another AT Innovate Bio project talk, where the idea to go to career counselors and to do activities with them that puts them at ease, that maybe some of the experiences that they had might turn them off to talking to people about careers like this. So what we want to do in these lunch and learns is to let people know that these are careers that folks can do. And this is not rocket science, that there's many different levels that people can work at in biotechnology, and there really is a place for everybody in these jobs. So we want to make those folks that, they're not actually going to be working themselves in this area, but they are going to be passing along encouragement to other people to work in this area. And if they don't feel comfortable themselves, then they're not going to pass along that comfort. The participants will leave with materials and invitations to share with students and adult learners to attend other events. Our timeline is this spring. We already did our club advisors and student-facing staff. In a couple weeks, we're going to be doing an event with some local unemployment officers. And then starting in the fall, we're going to start working with guidance counselors from our larger regional high schools. Again, Troy and Albany High School are our largest ones. Beyond that, we want to get into the smaller schools and also the veteran centers. So the last area is our adults, and I'm going to turn that over to Michelle to talk about that.
Thank you, Donna. The adult program continues to build on the pilot work that we did around Biotech Connect, and it really is focused on those seeking clarity in their career choices, or those individuals that are considering a new career pathway that might not be aware of the biotechnology careers, which, as you are aware, tend to be very high paying with good benefits and opportunities to be promoted through the company. So there's the upward mobility as well. Our approach for this program is generally one-day program with both a career and educational pathway overview, not just with Hudson Valley, but within the region. So as it was highlighted earlier, we have a very good network of 2-year and 4-year colleges within the capital region. And many of the colleges have articulation agreements. So our students can move from the micro-credential certificates all the way through bachelor's and up to PhD programs. We're going to encourage the career advisors to personally invite the students to these sessions. So building on the work that Donna talked about their outreach, first we will raise the awareness and then use those individuals as recruiters for the more extended adult program. We're going to start with our current HVCC students to improve the return on investment, because we are aware that there is a large population of undecided majors at Hudson Valley, or maybe those that are in majors that aren't well suited to them. So we're looking at that population first and using outreach through the program directors, program coordinators, athletics, and club directors to bring them into the adult extended program. The first session is geared, it's to start up in April, and then there will be a fall session that will follow the high school career advisors and targeted high school seniors that are showing interest in the biotech pathways or related career choices. And then future sessions, as we move further along our timeline, will engage the veteran populations. So on the right, we've had a lot of help from the Hudson Valley Communications Department and getting a website set up, and also printing these invitations that were handed out to our career and club advisors in our previous engagement. And these will be personal invitations to students. That was a fabulous suggestion by Julie to really connect with them early on, make them feel special, and bring them in to the program. So Donna, back to you.
Thank you, Michelle. Generating interest is not enough, as all of you know. They go to the events, and then what's next? So we all know that persistence and clear next steps are essential. So after we have the events, we're going to have ongoing engagement with the attendees. We're going to have periodic check-ins to meet their interests and goals. So with the 7th and 12th grade students and their families, we're going to give them updates on events and other accessible STEM opportunities, internships and such. For the career counselors, we're also going to provide them with event updates, some frequently asked questions, and maybe a script to give out, to give to them so that they know what to say to students when they're having those discussions. In the adult area, we're as well going to give them information on regional events. We're also going to focus on those career opportunities and any new education entry points. We're very excited that Hudson Valley is showing so much support for what we're doing. They are actually going to create a website for us, which includes an overview of biotechnology, our local ecosystem, and career pathways. Of course, we're going to include a link to biotechcareers.org. It will have links to all our program details and registrations, a calendar of other events that might be going on in our area. And then we're going to have an industry spotlight section where we, every couple of months, will switch to a different company, talk about what folks do there, maybe provide some videos on some alumni that are there, and talk about any job opportunities. So people can come back and see a new experience when they come back to the website. So it won't be a static website. Of course, our strongest relationship is with Regeneron, so they'll be our first industry spotlight. So we're hoping that this will be up and running within a couple months. So again, we've only had one event, but it was successful. We had on February 9th our first lunch and learn, and we had 19 folks. It ranged from club advisors, coaches, independent study advisors, and admission staff. The gentleman to the right, he was our girls tennis coach, and he was so delighted to be there. He said that he is a career advisor all the time. He's constantly talking to his team about what they're doing with their academics and what they plan to do with their life. And he was very pleased that now he has something to talk to them about. So we started the event with a discussion on how to engage students in general, sort of a what's in it for me. So it was a very interesting conversation about letting students lead club activities and having sort of an ownership of that. We then went into an overview of our region, highlighting some companies, showing some videos about what the daily life is, what kind of jobs would these students have. And then we also went into that pipetting the rainbow that many of you might be doing, which is something very easy and quick to do with any outreach event. We discussed how biotechnology is a viable pathway for pre-med students. I don't know how it is at your community colleges, but we have a lot of students come in that want to be doctors, vets, and at least in our experience, a lot of them go on, they go on to the four-year school and get a human biology degree and often end up with not a lot of usable technical skills so that if the medical school pathway doesn't work out, they're left without a job. So we actually get some of those students back here at Hudson Valley as for our postgraduate certificate to get those hands-on activities. So we want to sort of promote biotech as a viable pathway so that students have something to fall back on. Also, as mentioned before, we're using these folks to help us distribute the invitations, give that personal invitation to somebody that they know they're working with that isn't quite sure about their pathway at Hudson Valley. We're also going to be providing them shortly with a script to support some continued engagement. So for our program, the metrics and evaluation that we are planning to do is, of course, every event will include an evaluation survey. The adult sessions will include a pre-survey to assess any increases over the event. And then we plan on those follow-up activities and those interactions will be tracked to assess their continued interests. We're also going to measure visits to our new Biotech Connect website. And of course, we're going to look at our program enrollment. So for our first event, we were able to measure some metrics and it was overwhelmingly positive. Folks came off feeling well prepared to have these conversations with students that they interact with. And, we could, having that increased confidence in advising about biotech pathways, that's what prompted us to have that script to be sent out. Some other interesting things that came out from that first event is that a lot of them plan to share with their students that the recommendations to be a biotech major. They did like that we did discuss the alternate pathway for the medical field, and some of them expressed interest themselves in this pathway. Maybe admissions at Hudson Valley isn't for them. So I thought that was interesting. They had some very good recommendations for our next ones that we plan to implement, talking more about entry-level salaries. I gave quite a range, so we can tighten that up a bit. Talking about work culture is also very important, and a comparison to similarly named degrees and careers is also something they wanted us to include. So in summary, you know, it is something we need to do. Regeneron is our most valued and largest uh, partner, and they are expanding quite a bit in our area. So they need the workforce, and we need to raise awareness to supply that workforce for them. So by engaging more than just students, we're going to engage career counselors and adult learners to be part of that workforce. We need to create that clear and supported pathways from that general interest to actually getting them employed. That follow-up will help us do that. And we're very excited about the website. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna, Michelle, and Julie. Listening about your targeted groups and planned events, that's really exciting. We wish you well and can't wait for a follow-up. We now have time for a Q&A session directed at both of our Project Talk speakers today, or all of our Project Talk speakers. And so please feel free to raise your hand or type your question in the chat. We have about 11 more minutes, or 12, I'm sorry. As I did mention earlier, Cassandra and Karen did put a lot of information in the chat. And I believe, Julie, it was you who were speaking when you mentioned the STEM bus. That was a really cool idea that you have.
Yeah. We're very excited to learn more about that, and Donna's really excited to start driving it.
It's the size of a U-Haul. So I'm not so confident. I'm hoping they have good insurance on it. But I think I need a little practice. We have a lot of parking lots around, so I'm hoping that they'll let me practice before I have to drive it. So Julie had a question about the micro-credentials. We're gonna do the BCSI, or yeah, BCSI pipetting one. Michelle has some folks that are what are they? They're reviewers, or what are they called?
Yeah, they're
When
certified trainers. So
trainers. Okay.
you have their credentials to certify the badge. And then once the individual completes the certification test, they get a digital badge that can be added to their resume.
Judith had a comment in the chat as well.
For the website that we're gonna have, we don't have that up yet.
Karen has her hand up.
Hey, it's great to see Donna. You guys, right? They're doing so many different types of outreach and pieces. I was thinking with the website, have you thought about, as you're thinking about sort of younger populations, that maybe social media might be a more target? I'm just like, high school students are probably never going to go see a website, and yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be part of it. We have a really great communications department that does TikToks and Instagram posts and everything. So they're actually going to start. We're going to do a tour of our labs with some current students, and that will be put on both our website and in the college's Instagram. So we actually met with our communications department to get some advice on how to get our own social media. And they said, don't do that. Just let us do it for you. So they're going to post, because they already have like hundreds of thousands of followers. So they're going to post our content on their social media rather than us having to get followers, which we really appreciate that.
Yes, trying to post something on TikTok that's interesting is a challenge, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. They will do that. I don't have the skill for that. But we have a lot of students. We have some very charismatic ones right now that are more than willing to they're more than willing to be part of this. And so we're gonna get them on there. Julie, I'm thinking Nate. He's particularly charismatic.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what they come up with. It's going to be fun.
Donna, during our conversation before Project Talk started, you had mentioned you were talking about how you got ideas to write this proposal just based on your different experiences and also listening to previous talks. Would you mind sharing that with the group?
I alluded to that in the talk how Andrea DeMons she's from Santa Monica, where she talked about going for the career advisors. So as part of the preparation for writing the ATE proposal, Julie and I and Michelle, we did a deep dive into what's been already done. And I just loved what Andrea had done. And the idea of science trauma really resonated with me because just the response, I'm sure you guys all experience this. You're at a social event, you tell people what you do, and you get this look like, ooh, that's terrible. Putting people at ease, especially the career advisors, really is something that I think is very important. And using them, yeah, it is a great Karen, that is a great thing that she did. So, and she actually even met with me to talk about it further. So, looking at the old ATE talks here on Innovate Bio, looking at all of the other proposals and contacting the PIs on that, I think is an important part of putting together a proposal and really utilizing things. Something that Todd Smith just put out was about return on investment and which populations to go after first. And we took that advice of going after our own students first. That gives you a better return on investment. So that's where we're putting our efforts towards now. So yeah, we're looking to you guys to help us um, refine what we're doing. We're going to do a poster at High Tech, and hopefully you guys will be there as well and offer some of your experiences to us so that we can learn from all your great ideas.
Well, I'd like to take this time to thank our Project Talk speakers today. And I also put a link in the chat for the evaluation. And just to let everyone know that the evaluation will be shared with our speakers because it not only helps the Innovate Bio team in planning future events, but it will also help our speakers. So again, please complete that survey link, and the Project Talk recordings will be posted on the Innovate Bio website by the end of next week. At this time, I would like to thank you all again for taking some of your Friday to join us, and we wish you a very happy weekend. Take care. Bye-bye. You're faster. I was trying to remove. Oh, it's still recording.